Construction workers offered this homeless man a job, and soon he revealed his true nature. In a small London park, surrounded by busy streets and towering buildings, a homeless man lay curled up on an old wooden bench. His face was marked by cold and exhaustion. His clothes were worn and dirty. Few passers-by paid him any attention as they rushed past. But that morning, something unexpected happened. Not far away, a group of construction workers were working on a nearby building. During their break, they noticed the man and decided to invite him for a cup of hot tea. Hesitant, but clearly surprised by the unexpected kindness, the man joined the workers. The hot tea warmed his stiff hands, and gradually a conversation began. The construction workers asked him simple questions: how he was doing, if he slept there often. He didn't share much about himself, but his gratitude was unmistakable. Then, as a short silence fell, he looked around, studied the tools in the construction site, and made a bold decision. "Can I help you somehow? I can pitch in if you like," he said, suddenly determined. The workers exchanged surprised glances. None of them had expected such an offer, but one of them shrugged and grinned. "Why not? Come back early tomorrow, and we'll see." A light sparked in the homeless man's eyes. For the first time in a long while, someone had given him a real chance. Even before the sun had fully risen over the rooftops of London, the homeless man was already there. He stood with his arms crossed beside the construction site, waiting patiently as the city slowly came to life. The workers, arriving one by one, were genuinely surprised. None of them had really expected him to show up, especially not that early. But there he was, ready to get to work. Without hesitation, one of the men handed him a broom. "Let's just get started," he said with a shrug. What happened next shocked the entire crew. The man worked with a drive and determination that impressed even the most seasoned builders. He swept the dust from the ground, carried heavy bags of cement, and handed over tools as if he had done it all his life. He never complained, never asked for a break, and seemed to approach every task with genuine joy. His face, which the day before had been marked by fatigue, now glowed with enthusiasm. It was as if this job had restored a long-lost sense of dignity and purpose. During the lunch break, the workers sat in a circle, quietly watching him. "I've never seen someone so happy to be working," one of them said, shaking his head. The man sat among them, smiling from ear to ear, his hands covered in dust and mortar. But he looked more content than he had in years. When one of the workers asked what kind of pay he'd expect for the day, he simply shrugged and replied humbly, £15 would be amazing. That could get me through a whole week." But by then, the men felt far more than just respect for him. They exchanged glances, nodded in agreement, and pooled their money. In the end, they gave him not just £15, but £70, straight from their own pockets. Along with that came a warm meal. At the end of the workday, as the workers packed up to head home, the man paused, looked around, and said with a voice choked with emotion, "Thank you, mates. This is the best thing that's ever happened to me." But this wouldn't be the last time they saw him. When the construction workers handed him the £70, the homeless man paused. He stared at the banknotes in disbelief, as if he couldn't comprehend that this gesture was truly meant for him. "It's too much. I can't accept this," he murmured quietly. But one of the men gave him a friendly pat on the shoulder and said, "You earned it, mate. You worked hard and with more passion than a lot of people we know." The words hit him deep. For the first time in a long while, someone had seen him as an equal human being, someone who deserved recognition for his efforts. As he thanked them, one of the men slid over a steaming hot meal. It wasn't anything luxurious, just a simple lunch. But to him, it meant the world. While he ate, he felt, for the first time in years, like he didn't belong on the outside anymore. He was part of the group now, a colleague among colleagues. They laughed, swapped stories from past job sites, and he listened intently, as if, after years of loneliness, he was finally part of something again. His smile wasn't forced. It wasn't polite or practiced. It was real, As the day came to an end and the workers began packing up to head home, the man hesitated. He didn't want this moment to end. But before he could say anything, one of the workers turned back toward him and said casually, "If you want, you can come back tomorrow." As if it were the most natural thing in the world. But to the homeless man, it was anything but ordinary. He nodded quickly, his eyes shining. "I'll be here," he said firmly. And for the first time in years, he didn't just have a place to sleep. He had a future. The next day, the homeless man showed up at the construction site, on time and full of energy, just as he had promised. The workers greeted him like an old friend, and once again, he worked with relentless dedication. But what he didn't know was that one of the workers had shared his story on Facebook. The post went viral. Thousands of people commented, praising his work ethic and the kindness of the construction crew. "This restores my faith in humanity," one user wrote. Others asked how they could help. Within just a few hours, the homeless man had become a symbol of second chances. The response was overwhelming. Not only did other construction companies offer him work, but people also reached out to help change his life. Several strangers offered him a room if he was willing to start over. One man, who had once been homeless himself, offered to help him reintegrate into society. For the first time in years, he was no longer alone. His entire fate had shifted in just a few days. From a simple invitation to a cup of tea came a life-changing chain of events. When the workers told him about the offers at the end of the day, he couldn't hold back his tears. He hadn't expected anything. No recognition, no help, no home. And yet, he had received all of that, simply because he had seized an opportunity and shown his true self, a hard-working, honest man. "No one who wants to work should be living on the streets," the foreman said firmly, handing him a card with an address. "You can sleep here tonight." The homeless man looked at him in disbelief, then embraced him without saying a word. A new life had begun, a life he had earned for himself. This story shows how a single kind gesture can change a person's life. The workers didn't just see a man in need, they saw someone willing to earn a second chance. His hard work and gratitude led to more than just a job. He gained a home and a new future. Often it's not large donations or grand actions that make the difference, but small acts of humanity, a conversation, a cup of tea, or an outstretched hand. This story reminds us that everyone has the potential to change their life if given the right opportunity. That's it for today. An inspiring story that shows how a small gesture can lead to something great. If you enjoyed this video, give it a thumbs up. Don't forget to subscribe to the channel so you don't